Welcome to this video. This video is about HTMX. HTMX stands for Hypertext Markup Extension. HTMX finished second in the 2023 JavaScript Rising Star for fronted framework category, just behind React. HTMX gives you access to Ajax, asynchronous JavaScript and XML, CSS transition, WebSockets, server send events directly in HTML using attributes, so you can build modern user interface with the simplicity and power of hypertext. HTMX is a small, dependency-free, extendable, compatible, and has a reduced code base size 66% more than compared to with React. What was the motivation for the development of HTMX? Why should only anchor tag and form tag be able to make HTTP request? Why should only click and submit events trigger them? Why should only get and post methods be available? Why should we only be able to replace the entire screen? Let's now just quickly go through its documentation. Okay, now starting with the documentation. HTMX in a nutshell. HTMX is a library that allows you to access modern web browser features directly from HTML rather than using JavaScript. To understand this, let's first look at the anchor tag. This is the anchor tag href blog. The anchor tag basically creates a GET request to this blog URL, and in the response, the whole content is loaded as a response into the browser window. With keeping this in mind, let's try now to see this button. There's a button with this attribute HX post with an HS trigger, HS target, HX swap. HX post creates a post request to this path URL. On click the response will be delivered to this HX target div, and it will swap its outer HTML. Okay, when the user clicks on this button, it issues an HTTP post request to this URL and use the content from the response to replace the element with ID parent div in DOM. Okay. Now let's see installing. Before seeing installing, let's now create our own project. Let's now open our VS Code. Okay, you can see our VS Code is loading and it will open. Okay, we do have our VS Code open. Now let's just, and we are currently inside our HTMX directory. I will create two folders. First folder for client side, and another folder for server side. Not inside client side, but here, server. Okay, we do have two folders. For server, we will be using Express.js, that is the lightweight library right from Node.js. Now let's open our terminal, and here, and we get inside our CD server. That is our directory, and we will be using npm as a node package manager. We'll be initializing it. Let's just wait until it happens. You can press enter to move forward. You can type yes, and then you'll install Express, npm I Express. This will install Express. Till then, let's now go to client folder and create index.html. Index.html. Okay, we do have index.html. Now have the basic syntax. Okay, now our npm express is downloaded. You can see in package log.json file you have the dependency express. Okay, now let's create a folder called index.js inside server. Index.js. Okay, this index.js is a main file which will be used to run the server. Now let's go back to our document. This documentation says different types of method by which we can use HTMX. First one is YCDN. Okay, using YCDN, we need not install any other dependency. Just we can use this script tag, Control C, and paste here, Control V, and we are now ready to go. Just use it. Or there are other ways also of downloading a copy. You can use npm also. You can use a web pack also. Okay, let's now see how does we deal with HTTP request here. HTMX the core of HTMX is a set of attributes that allow you to issue Ajax request. Basically, we will be issuing Ajax request to these attributes. These attributes are HX get, HX post, put, patch, delete. These are get, post, push, patch, delete request. We'll be using Ajax in the back. And here is this attributes. Okay, and this all these attributes require a URL where it will throw the request get pushed. Okay, now let's move to each of these attributes takes a URL to issue an Ajax request. The element will issue a request to subscribe type of given URL when the element is triggered. Okay, when this HTTP request will be issued, Ajax request or HTTP request, when the element is triggered. So you can see here example. There is a div where we generate the request. Let's just try to code it. You can just go and copy it, Control C, Control V. I think so it's not there. Let's just div, and we have our Ajax put, and we have given a path here. Our content will be shown here. Now to have a URL, first let's go to server and add an endpoint so that user can send a request to that. To add some to create some Express server using server using Express, let's make the Express documentation. Express documentation. Go to getting started. Hello world. You can see we have an example here. Let's just copy and paste it here. Okay, now whenever there is a request at this URL or get request, then server will send this whatever the thing inside the brackets. So let's now send a HTML here, because we are the medium of saying data here is HTML. Hi from server. Okay, now we are having hi from server. Let's just start our server. For starting our server, we just need to type node and file of the name of the file. Let's type node index.js. Okay, our server is running at port number 3000. So for let's now request our server using client side. Okay, to request our server using client side, just let's go to localhost 3000. Okay, we have a hi from server. This is from the, remember, this is from the server. This means our server is running, and nice. Let's just go and paste it here. Paste it. I think so it's not copied. Control C, Control V. Okay, now we have this thing. You can let me show you one thing. All the Ajax triggers will be generated by default on click. Some of them, like you can see the triggering request. By default, Ajax requests are triggered by natural event of the element. Like input text here select are triggered on the change event. Form is triggered on the submit event. Everything else is triggered on the click event. The diff is not from these above two categories. It will be basically loading on the content when it's clicked. Let's now run our server. Let's now go live. Click on live. So go live. Our website will be live now. Okay, we have nothing here. Now if we click, I think so. Let's just check our console. What does it saying? Okay, inspect. Here's our div. Let's give some div size and color. How does it be visible to us if don't have any? Let's go style, background color, red. Okay, now give color. Let's let it be, and let's give height to 300 pixel. Let's save, and we can see. Okay, now I'll click it. You see when I click it in the area, generating a HTTP request. Okay, but there's some error, cross origin resource policy. You can solve it from using server side. Go to index.js. Let's just close the server for now. Okay, server is closed now. Let's install a dependency called npm I chorus. Chorus stands for cross origin resource sharing. Wait until it's being downloaded. Till then we can see our documentation. Okay. Triggering request, we already saw it. By default, Ajax request are triggered by natural event of the element. Input text is selected triggered by change event, form is triggered by submit event, everything is a click event. If you want different behavior, you can use HX trigger attribute to specify which event will cause the request. Here it does the post to this URL when the mouse enters it. Okay, you can also define which kind of behavior you want using HX trigger. Okay, they have also given some big example if you want to see documentation. Let's now see it's been loaded. Okay, our Indian code is loaded. Let's now add to our code. To add to our code, first we need to require it. Course policy require. Okay. Now we need to use it. To use it, app dot use course, and we are done. Save it and restart our server. Well, for the purpose of development, you can also use something called nodemon. npm install nodemon. Nodemon checks every time that is there a change in the code. If it is, it restarts the server. Okay, we have nodemon. Let's now type nodemon index.js. It does not understand why is it nodemon. Let's go to package.lock package.json, or here in scripts we can write run start, then we can write node on index.js. Okay, let's just type comma this one. Now save it, and for the purpose you can also check nodemon is being installed, and type npm start should start the server. Okay, you can see our nodemon is running. It has some error showing. You can check already in use. Saying port is already in use. Let's change the port for now. Not fixing any issue right now. Let's go for 8080 something random. I think so it should work. Okay, let's see it's working now. Yes, it should be also working in port number 3010. Okay, it's working on 3010. So let's go to our index.html and change it to 3010 and save it. Okay, let's go to this one. Click response status error code localhost. This is showing error. Okay, why does it showing error? Because the request here we are putting here is a put request. Let's just go for the get request for now. Save and try it. See, we are having HTML tag from the server inserted here. Let's now try to do some useful things using it. We can let's just let's try and go to our server side code, and we're sending something useful. I think you should use this type of quotations. Now let's give some useful HTML. Hi, this is my website using HTMX. Just close this one. I'll write bold not developer, front-end developer. You can write full stack developer or whatever you like. Stack developer. Let's save it, and you can see the magic. We have our h1 tag and big B tag with proper working. Let's now go to server side again. I think so we're doing some mistake. We did not close the. Now save it, and it's working. Nice. Okay. let's move to documentation. There's some different types of trigger events. Like it was only basically on the click event. We can see here there are different types of values that Ajax trigger have. Ajax trigger have different types of click, control, check global state, safety, standard event, once change, delay, throttle, form, target, queue, non-standard events, target by Ajax trigger header. Let's just get it back. Okay, trigger modifiers. There are different types of trigger modifiers. A trigger can also have few additional modifiers that change its behavior. For example, if you want to request only once, you can use the once modifier trigger. Okay, like here example, Ajax trigger mouse enter once. Let's just use this one, our example, as mouse enter once. Control C and paste in our code here and save it. Now, whenever mouse will enter, it will create the request. See, it's just once. It's not generating request again. You can check the request in the network tag. If you refresh it and just enter mouse, a request is generated. Okay. Okay, guys, now let's move to documentation. There is something called changed, delay, throttle, form. Did on changed only issue a request if the value of the element has changed. For this one, you can use something like input field or text area. Let's just use text area. For text area, text area. Hi there. Save. And it's working. Now I wanted to generate a request to the server. To generate request, I want to generate it to a get request. Okay, it will generate a get request to something called comments. Comments. Okay, now to handle this, I need to go to our server, create another endpoint. Okay, I'll write comments here. Comments for the response. We'll change the response. Big paragraph. You can big paragraph. Here's big paragraph. Okay. You can type some lorem some. It's not working for right now. Let's just type hi. This is comment for you. Okay. Now let's save it. As you can see, not how it's working.